Ready to suit up? Here's your complete guide to Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure. Hey, it's Juliet here at the Perfecting the Magic Studios. We have a lot of fun here hanging out on Instagram, TikTok, and right here on YouTube with new videos every single week. Today, it's all about one of my absolute all-time favorite theme park lands. All right, it's hard to pick just one, but Avengers Campus is definitely top 3 for sure. Avengers Campus is located in Disney California Adventure, and today I'm gonna walk you through literally everything you need to know about this theme park land. We're talking food, entertainment, rides. I've got it all for you. So if you're ready to join Earth's mightiest heroes, hang on, because your ultimate guide to Avengers Campus starts now.
Are you ready? Yeah, you are. Here we go.
The backstory of this land. So Avengers Campus took over what used to be a Bugs Land. Some folks sad about it. I gotta say, I think Avengers Campus was a major upgrade. This transition happened in June of 2021. So Avengers Campus in Disneyland is one of 3 locations around the globe. The other 2 are in Hong Kong and 1 is in Paris. But for today, we're just gonna focus on the California one. Now, when it comes to navigating the land, you'll find it's actually not the hugest land in Disneyland by a lot. It's divided into 4 main areas. The one main entrance area here is where you'll find the Arc Reactor and the Web Tech building. If you continue down to the right, you'll find the Ancient Sanctum. That's the home to all things Doctor Strange. Next to that, probably my favorite part of the land is the Quinjet and its landing strip area. Finally, you'll find Tavon's Warehouse, which is the home to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. To truly get what Avengers Campus is all about, though, I think it's important that you understand not only the where of this land, but the when. Now, if you didn't know this, Disney Imagineers go to a lot of painstaking effort to make sure that every single land in Disneyland has a true backstory. It's detailed, it's got a timeline, and of course, Avengers Campus is no exception to that. Avengers Campus is maybe the good news for you, set in the multiverse. So that means you don't have to worry about not seeing one of your favorite Marvel heroes because they've been killed off at some point. So the events of the blip, the whole story arc around Infinity War, it never happened at Avengers Campus. That's why you're gonna see characters like Black Widow walking around here and now. I'm gonna read the tagline for Avengers Campus for you here. A home where Earth's mightiest heroes can assemble across time and space to freely share their technology skills and knowledge with all. Now, the key bit here really being across time. One of my favorite parts of Avengers Campus is that all the heroes you're gonna run into here are actually living in present day in Disneyland, which is why you can hear Spiderman actually referencing the fact that he can see a roller coaster. And this is truly the only land in all of Disneyland, Disney World, across the globe where that's true. So yes, you can meet Iron Man and you can talk to him about the fact that a roller coaster is just a couple feet away.
Don't forget to tag me on your video. #AmazingSpiderman.
Now a little bit more on how this land came to be. Where Avengers Campus is today was the former grounds of Stark Industries, and it also shared this space with the Strategic Scientific Reserve Complex. They used to do top secret research here, but of course today it's been taken over as a home base for the Avengers on Earth. Understanding this part of the backstory will give you a very cool lens to view the land through, and also will definitely key you into some of the land's best Easter eggs. You'll see signs of the old Stark Industries plant pretty much everywhere you look. You'll even find a map to what the complex looked like in its entirety at the front of the land. Look for it in front of the Web Tech store. A few other fun bits on the land's backstory. Well, it takes a lot of energy to power Avengers Campus, and of course, I guess Tony, or at least the Starks in some form, thought of it because a giant arc reactor at the front of the land is what powers everything inside of it. And aliens somehow made their way here too. Well, we can thank Tanalier Tavon for that, because once he heard Avengers Campus was opening up, he decided there was no better place to have his fortress put there. He warped his entire fortress right smack dab to the end of the land. I guess the transportation process, it didn't go entirely smooth though, which is why you'll notice that there's alien goo on the ground all around that building there. Transporting buildings, I guess, can get a little messy. Now you know the backstory of this land, let's get into what I believe really this land is all about, and that is the heroes. In most of Disney California Adventure, if you enter a land, what you're there for is the rides. But at Avengers Campus, I really believe that the star, the beating heart at this land is character interactions. You're truly gonna find heroes at every single corner of this land. Most of them do very traditional character meets, meaning you can queue up, you can get a photograph with them, a chat. But there are a few non-traditional character meets here too, so let me walk you through how to meet your favorite hero. There are 4 main locations for character meets in the land. Right up front is where you'll find Spider-Man. This is the graffiti wall. It's right next to the WebTech building, and this is the only place where Spider-Man does character meets. Location number 2 is located on the steps right in front of the Ancient Sanctum. Anyone from Ant-Man to Loki to Thor has been known to show up here. And by the way, if there are seasonal character appearances, they tend to do their character meets here too. The third location, which is truly the main location for character meets in the land, is located underneath the Quinjet. You can't miss this one because there's a big Avengers logo right there. Anyone from Black Panther to Captain America, they've all been known to show up here throughout the day. If you want to know who's going to be meeting here and when they come out, I've got a tip for you. Well, actually, I've got 2. So first up, you can check the Disneyland app, and if you tab over to the character meet section here, you're going to at least find out who is actively on campus for the day. Tip number 2, and this is the one that I usually live by, is to look for the folks in the black vests and black caps. These are the Avengers Campus security personnel, and they'll usually be out 5 to 10 minutes in any of the locations before a character will appear. So look for them, hang around, and you'll probably get a good opportunity to jump in line very early to meet one of your favorite characters. Now, location number 4 is one of those non-traditional character meet locations that I mentioned earlier. So if you look up to the skies to the Quinjet, you'll find heroes patrolling campus all day long up here. Truth be told, this location is not the best for character meets. It's frankly a little bit hard to interact with the characters when they are there, mainly because they can't hear you super well. But you can wave, you can get some pictures, and the good news is, of course, there's no wait. So now you've rocked your best Spidey pose and hung out with the Asgardians, we gotta talk about the land's rides.
And start things wrong.
Yeah, of course, the Marvel heroes, they're important, but let's face it, we're stoked on the rides too. So there are 2 rides in this land: Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure, and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. We gotta start out by talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, because this really is the land's OG ride. And what I mean by that is this ride existed in its current form before Avengers Campus even opened up. So this ride's actually been here since May of 2017, which is 4 full years before Avengers Campus opened its gates. And yes, if you remember, this is the one that received the makeover from the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, which still exists in Hollywood Studios down in Walt Disney World. Now, this ride is very intense. It does feature multiple straight down drops. So if you're someone who gets the knot in your stomach, you just can't do the vertical drop rides, yeah, this one's probably not gonna be a great fit for you. Because of its intensity, you need to be at least 40 inches tall to ride this one. My actual favorite part of this ride, aside from it just being the Guardians of the Galaxy IP, which I love, is definitely the soundtrack. One of the coolest parts of this ride is that it features 6 different songs that'll play at any point that you get on the ride. They each also have their own unique drop pattern. This is a thing that not a lot of folks know. So your first ride that you go on could be completely different from your second ride. In my opinion, Free Ride is the most intense drop pattern. That one gets me every single time. The land's newest ride is Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure. This one opened up in 2021. And I will tell you that this ride is divisive. Some people love it, some people hate it. For myself, I actually am on the love it side of the fence, but I love video games, and that is frankly the best way to describe this ride. It's kind of like a Spider-Man video game where you're the star, except there's no controller in your hands because you are the controller. So the goal of the ride is for you to navigate through the Worldwide Engineering Brigade building, that's what WEB stands for, and help Spider-Man get some rogue Spidey bots under control. They've broken out of containment, they're threatening to take over Avengers Campus. Yes, Spider-Man desperately needs your help. Web Slingers is a trackless ride, and almost anyone can ride it. It's all ages, any height, but it does feature 3D glasses. So if you're someone who struggles with motion sensitivity to 3D, this one might be tough for you. Throughout the ride, you're gonna notice that you'll have a scoreboard right on the bottom of your ride vehicle, and that'll tell you how well you're doing on the scoring. Every Spidey bot you sling a web at and successfully catch means more scoring points for you. And if you're really super competitive, right before the ride's exit, you can even see if you've made the leaderboard for the day or month there too. Some tips to help you get the best possible score. So, do not sling the Spidey bots indiscriminately. There is a wide range in scores. So far and away, the one that crowds the screen the most, the red and blue Spidey bot, is actually worth the lowest points. Look for the glowing ones. Glowing gold and glowing blue are far and away worth the most points. Blue will get you 3,000 points, gold will catch you 6,000 points just for hitting one Spidey bot. If you're slinging those basic red and blue ones, you're not gonna rack up that score real fast. Another thing most folks don't know is that the full web slinging motion that they show you is actually kind of overkill. You can do it because it's fun and thematic, and I do it too because I want to feel like Spider-Man. But particularly when you get to those boss fight sequences, try using just a short little jabbing motion, almost like you're throwing little punches here. That's gonna get you a lot more points, a lot more fast.
Don't worry, everyone. I got this.
If you're looking for another way to spice up the ride, you can add in a web power band. So these are available for purchase. It'll cost you $30 for the base power band and then another $35 if you want any of the hero specific ones. Here's what I'm gonna tell you about the web power bands. They are fun to use. They'll add a new effect to the ride and it's pretty thematic. So if you pick up the Iron Man hero specific one, you're gonna see he's firing his repulsor cannons all of a sudden alongside you. The Ant-Man power-up band can actually shrink things or make them larger. But if you are a pure person who is optimizing for score, the web power bands are actually kind of heavy and don't always result in driving up your score. And sometimes I've actually found that they make my score go lower. One other note on these power bands, I found them a little bit clumsy and kind of awkward to wear throughout the entire day. So if you're bringing your web power band or you're buying one in the park, I'd be prepared to get yourself a locker so you can store it for the times where you're not in Avengers Campus.
Here. Thanks, everybody.
Both rides in the land, both Guardians of the Galaxy and Web Slingers offer standby queues and expedited entry via lightning lanes. Both of these rides are available as part of the base Genie Plus purchase for the day. So if you pick up this purchase, you'll be able to get a lightning lane for both Web Slingers and Guardians of the Galaxy. If you're looking at booking priorities, I would definitely book the lightning lane for Guardians first and then do Web Slingers after. Mission Breakout, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, is definitely one of the most popular rides in Disneyland and it's pretty much always in demand. If you're planning on doing standby for these rides, you can expect the Guardians of the Galaxy will likely be more than a 45-minute wait most times of the day. Web Slingers, you can occasionally get lucky and score a 20 or 30-minute wait time on it. One other option for you, Web Slingers does also offer a single rider line, but truthfully, I almost never use this because I think a lot of the fun of this ride is doing it as a team. Did all those rides make you hungry? Let's talk about the food on Avengers Campus.
Incoming call from Mr. Stark.
Friday, don't put him through!
Yeah, she put me through.
I think the food on Avengers Campus is truly some of the best offerings you're gonna find in California Adventure, period. Now, a lot of that is thanks to Pim's Test Kitchen. The food here is top notch. It offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and seriously, it's kind of difficult to find and miss on this menu. All the food here has utilized Pim particle tech, so you're gonna see things inside the restaurant have either grown comically large or comically tiny, and you're also gonna find touches of that throughout the restaurant as well. All right, so on to the food here. My recommendations for you, if you're heading here for breakfast, check out the Cinepim Toast 2.0. This is so delicious, and don't be put off by the blue swirls in the bread. Trust me, it's very good, power through. For lunch, two of my favorite options are the Not So Little Chicken Sandwich and the Pimini. Both of these are delicious. Just make sure if you're getting the Not So Little Chicken Sandwich, you order an extra side of slaw to go along with it. The drinks here include beer and non-alcoholic options. On the non-alcoholic side, try out the Proton Punch because this one has some popping rocks in it, so it's a fun sensation. It feels very sciencey. Lastly, dessert. There's only one thing on the menu here, but it is a goodie. It's been recently updated. It's a Choco Smash Cake. It's definitely big enough to share, so you can get this one. Split it with your friends. It's chocolate, it's peanut butter. It kind of tastes like a Snickers bar if it was transformed into a cake. Entrees range here about $14, and like I said, there really are no misses. If you're in search of boozy options, the place to head to is Pim's Tasting Lab. So this is where you're gonna find beer, cocktails, and yes, I do spend an alarming amount of my time at the bar here. My two favorite drinks here are the Experiment and the R&D Martini. The R&D Martini just recently got added to the menu, and it's just a solid pick-me-up for midday. A word of warning, the drinks can be a little bit on the sweeter side here, so I've definitely had friends who have needed to water them down before. I think if you're a person who can't handle super sweet cocktails, it might be better off sticking to beer here. But you will miss out on one of the fun parts of ordering a drink here, which is the fact that all of them come in their own Pim's Tasting Lab beaker. And yes, you can take this beaker glass home with you. If you get a beer, yeah, it's just gonna come in a regular plastic cup. But for the beer, there is one special thing that is waiting for you. Make sure you keep an eye on the taps to watch how your glass gets filled. I won't ruin the surprise here for you, but it is fun. Drinks here range anywhere from $13 all the way up to $20. And by the way, if you're looking for a beer recommendation, my fiance tells me that the Slow Brew Cali Squeeze is the one to get, but I wouldn't know because I won't go anywhere near that stuff. One other thing I should mention, dessert bits are the snack offering here. I used to love ordering these. I used to get these all the time, but Disney has recently reduced down the portion size for these so much that I really don't think the value's here, so you're better off sticking with getting your food elsewhere in the land. Mobile order is available at both Pim's testing kitchen and the lab, and I would strongly recommend you use it. Lines can get quite long here when it comes to picking up drinks or food, especially if you're ordering during peak times.
Oh, I made a magic tea. Do you want some? You put tea in the urn of Unyor.
If Pim particles don't settle well in your stomach, good news, there are more dining options for you on campus, one of which is the Shawarma Palace shawarma stands. You'll find 2 of them throughout the land. One is located right in front of the ancient sanctum, and the other one is down by the Hyperion Theater. That one, near the Hyperion Theater, tends to have a much shorter line most of the time, and it also comes with the bonus of additional seating to the right of it. Sometimes during lunch or dinner, seating can get a little bit tight on campus, so this is a great spot to rest. For your breakfast option here, you'll find the Impossible Shawarma Wrap. Great pun, I know. A note on this one, it is entirely plant-based, and that does include the eggs. I know for some folks that's a no-go, but I actually think this one's pretty tasty. For lunch, you'll find the chicken shawarma wrap and the plant-based falafel one. I actually am kind of partial here to the falafel. I think the chicken one's good, but neither of these really rank as a native New Yorker for me as the true New York's tastiest. But I will definitely say that they have their very purposeful place in the land because you can grab and go these. They're nicely wrapped up to either take out of the park with you or eat in line. I've actually eaten the chicken shawarma while waiting for web slingers in line when I was starving. Last stop on your foodie tour around Avengers Campus is Terran Treats. You're gonna find this stand located right in front of the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout building. It is definitely Terran themed. The snacks here are thematic. I think they're visually spectacular. There's 2 snack options on the menu here, but this is also typically where you're gonna find the rotating seasonal snacks as they come through Avengers Campus, so keep an eye out for that. The 2 mainstay menu items are the churro and the Cosmic Cream Puff Orb. Between these 2, I'm gonna tell you, skip the churro. You can get plenty of those elsewhere in Disneyland, and try out the Cosmic Cream Puff Orb. I love this. This is another one though, I'd say it's a divisive snack. For some folks, they maybe don't enjoy the center filling because it's a raspberry cheesecake flavor. For me, I love it because it's tangy, it's not too sweet, and I think this is a fun dessert that's worth ordering, so give it a try for me.
And now, our project lead, the brilliant, Peter Parker.
Another signature part of Avengers Campus is most certainly the live entertainment. So there are a staggering 6 live shows that happen here all day, every day. And even if you're not typically a live entertainment person, I will tell you, make time for these shows. You are not gonna wanna miss them. Chances are you've probably already seen some footage of Spider-Man flinging himself through the air. Let's talk about his amazing stunt show, The Amazing Spider-Man. This show happens 9 times throughout the day, but I got you on this one. The last show of the day is at 4 p.m. So if you're heading to the park in the evening, you won't be able to see this one. The best way to view this one is to make sure that you're lined up for a great center location before that big Spidey altitude jump test happens. My preferred viewing location is centered right with the graffiti wall, and you'll want to make sure that you're reasonably far back so you can get a great full view. Spidey will pop out at various different locations at the start of the show. This is very short. If you see this, don't worry. You're still in the right spot. Entire runtime for this one is about 5 minutes. Make sure you don't commit to lining up super early for this one. No more than 10 minutes before showtime, you'll still get a great spot. Another must-see show of the land is the Avengers Assemble show. This show happens 6 times throughout the day, and it's located right on that raised platform underneath the Quinjet. So yes, you're gonna be quite a distance from the actual show here, where Black Panther and Black Widow are fighting the big baddie, which is Taskmaster, but it really is the best way to see the Avengers in actual combat on campus. The show happens 6 times throughout the day, with the last show being at 4:10 p.m. and its entire run length is about 7 minutes. When it comes to where to stand, how early to get there, my chosen spot here is right in line with the Avengers Vault store, and I really don't get there more than 5 minutes before showtime. No need to get the perfect viewing location for this one. If you're hankering to actually try out your own skills in combat though, you can join in on the Dora Milaje show that happens several times throughout the day. What's unique about this one is you'll actually get to participate as an audience. So the Dora Milaje will run you through some of their training sequences. You'll get to try out your warrior stances. And this show is really great for kids. Unlike the other shows on campus, this one is unique in that it doesn't have set showtimes that you'll find in the calendar. If you're curious, you can always ask a cast member in the area or listen for the Telltale theme song. You'll hear it basically throughout most of the land, and you'll be able to run over and get a good spot. Another short but very cute show is the Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Dance-Off. This features Star-Lord and Gamora. This one happens right in front of the Guardians of the Galaxy ride building. It happens 6 times throughout the day. This is a fun one to participate in and is another great show for kids. The show that I think is a real sleeper hit of the land is the Doctor Strange Mysteries of the Mystic art show. I say it's a sleeper hit because I think a lot of folks who visit Avengers Campus don't even realize that this show is happening. It's tucked away inside the ancient sanctum. It's a little bit quieter than some of the other shows in the land, so I think it's very easy to miss. But you should not miss this one. Not only is it funny, Doctor Strange genuinely makes a lot of great jokes throughout the show, but the magic special effects in this show are genuinely very impressive. A couple of tips for seeing this one. Since the venue is kind of intimate, the ancient sanctum is not huge, I'd recommend getting there at least 15 minutes before showtime just to make sure you can actually get a proper spot. And my second tip for you is to see it as late in the evening as you can. Once it's dark out, the special effects get even more immersive, even cooler, so if you can, see the last show of the day. The show runs about 11 minutes in total. You do get to sit throughout it, so think about working it in as a nice break for your feet in the middle of the day.
This is a fight you cannot win.
Ready to do some shopping? There are 3 main locations for where to get your Avengers swag on campus. The first one being Web Suppliers, which is located right across from the Web Slingers ride. This is where you can pick up your very own Spidey bot. They kind of jitter across the floor. Not quite as agile as the one in the rides. You can also buy the web power-up bands here if you're looking for boosts to add to your Web Slingers ride experience. Located at the ride exit from Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is the Collector's Warehouse. This is the place where you can find most of the Guardians of the Galaxy goodies, so lots of cute little Groots to be found here, but they do also have a decent selection of pins and other Marvel goodies here too. The real main location to do your shopping is Avengers Vault. So this is where you're gonna find the real signature items in the land and kind of the high upscale, aka very expensive collector items. So if you're looking to get your very own Stormbreaker or Tesseract, your own Infinity Gauntlet, they're all located right here. The last spot for shopping, I won't call it in full location since it's just a little stand, but it's located in front of the Web Slingers building. That's the campus supply pod, and I actually got this zip up that I'm wearing right now from it. It has the most low-key merch items, and what I mean is that they're sort of the most minimal on branding. So if you want like a black hoodie that just has a small little Avengers logo on it, the place to find it. It's actually one of my favorite places to shop on campus.
The Guardian of the Galaxy, perhaps. Didn't mean to offend you.
Avengers Campus is brimming with so many good photo op spots. If I can I encourage you, get in a thematic outfit, dress up like an Avenger. So one of my favorite places to take pictures is in front of the Stark Industries barn doors, right at the exit of the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Located very close to it is a set of collector's crates, and it makes for some fun poses where you can lean on it. Some other great spots in the land is taking a picture with the Avengers Jeep, snapping a photo in front of the Miles Morales graffiti wall, or waiting until the ancient sanctum clears out and striking a pose in front of those gold doors. It can make for a very epic shot. And one of the most epic photo spots in the land is located next to the ancient sanctum. If you stand in the just right spot, you can get a very magical Doctor Strange gravity-defying effect. And by the way, one thing to keep in mind, even if you don't want to be center stage of your photos, this place photographs so well, particularly at nighttime. Hang out, catch the day to night transition. You're gonna get some really great shots of the Quinjet, the Avengers Campus logo, the arc reactor. These all look fantastic on film in the nighttime.
I'm gonna go find Spiderman for us all because he's around here somewhere. Okay, goodbye. Spider-Man!
If you're on the hunt to go even deeper in the land, there are a load of Marvel Cinematic Universe Easter eggs to be found. Now, truthfully, there are so many Easter eggs in this land, I couldn't possibly cover all of them, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled as you visit the land and see if you can spot a couple that don't make it onto my list here. The first Easter egg worth seeing, I guess isn't technically an Easter egg, but it's definitely worth a visit. Before you enter the land, you'll see a special plaque that was dedicated to Stan Lee. This was dedicated back in December of 2022 in honor of what would have been his 100th birthday. All right, now we're gonna get into the real true Easter eggs for you. If you head over to the Web Tech building on the left side, you're gonna find 2 Easter eggs in very close proximity to each other. One of which is 2 parking spots. If you take a look at the names for these parking spots, you'll see they're reserved for H. Stark and E. Jarvis. I think you probably get the gist of who those are actually for. To the right of it, you'll see a pipe that's leaking gamma radiation. And yes, gamma radiation is the same stuff that took a hold of the Hulk. While this stuff seems like it's gotten into one of the trees in the area, and you'll see that it looks a little bit larger than it probably should. One of the more obvious Easter eggs in the land is located inside the Mission Breakout showroom. So if you take a look in one of the cabinets, you're gonna see the very famous headset of Star-Lord there. Rocket luckily snatches it up and returns it to Star-Lord in good order. And in the Web Slingers showroom, you can spot a bunch of Easter eggs. If you take a look at the claw machine right before you exit the door, you'll see that it's loaded with Disney toys. And the desk on the lamp here looks an awful lot like a Pixar lamp. All right, so that is absolutely everything you could possibly need to know about visiting Avengers Campus in Disney California Adventure. Make sure you hit the subscribe button right down below because I'll be back here next week with a brand new video loaded with Disney tips for you. I'll see you then.